From the moment Nadia and Mel met her, they knew competition was her first name, chaos was her middle name, and comparison was her surname. Her real name, Cynthia, but everybody just called her Cece. Cece was the kind of friend who didn't just want to be better than you. No, she wanted to outshine you, outdress you, outwalk you, outtalk you, and if possible, outbreathe you. If you wore a new dress from Toy Market on Sunday, she will show up on Monday in a gown that looked like she had just come from shooting a Beyoncé music video. If you introduced a friend to her, she would befriend her and try to show her she was better than you. You bought a small blender, Cece will buy a juicer that looked like it belonged inside a 5-star hotel. You got your eyebrows shaped, Cece would show up with brows so sharp they could slice onions. They loved her, but even love has limits. They were tired. Their esteem was on life support. Now, Cece worked in an advertising agency in Upper Hill. Her boss was a calm, elegant woman named Madam Ruth, the kind of woman who ties her scarf and you immediately feel poor. Ruth was married to a man who, well, let's just say was a walking, talking disappointment. His name was Kelvin. He was not handsome, not charming, and certainly not rich. To make things worse, he was stingy. But when Cece saw Kelvin, she didn't see his stomach hanging like a broken balcony. She saw an opportunity. To her, Madame Ruth was the ultimate symbol of success she needed to conquer. She wanted to outshine her. But Cece didn't have the money to wear better or buy a more expensive purse or take selfies in fancy restaurants. So she thought of some other way. She would outshine her by stealing her man. And that is how Cece, in her infinite wisdom, started an affair with her boss's husband. But she didn't stop there. She bragged to the entire office. She would walk to the water dispenser and loudly say, someone's man kept me up all night. The whole office would stare and she would flip her wig and add, anyway, let me hydrate. A queen must glow. Cece wanted the news to reach her boss. In fact, she was praying for it. She wanted Ruth to feel beneath her like everyone else. But Kelvin, the stolen husband, had one major flaw. Again, he was stingy. He would send her 300 shillings on M-Pesa and write, for lunch, don't overspend. But Cece couldn't maintain her beauty routines with such nonsense. Her wigs needed maintenance, her nails needed attention, her foundation finished every 2 weeks. And she refused to be outdressed by Madame Ruth. So Cece entered a new career path, selling Coca-Cola, if you catch my drift. She started small, doing deliveries for a guy named Ras J. Ras J would tell her, just do deliveries and take your cut. Soon, the money started pouring in. She looked expensive and walked like she was stepping on the necks of her enemies. But trouble was warming up backstage, ready to enter the scene. You see, one day, Cece, Ras J, and another friend, Zena, went to pick up a package. They put it in the car, a simple Toyota Fielder. Inside the car, the radio was playing that Backbencher Ndani S-Class song, and these made Cece feel untouchable. Everything was going smoothly until they reached Kiambu Market. That is when a large brown dog appeared. The dog seemed like it knew some deep secrets. It sniffed the car and growled. Then it barked and barked louder. And then it barked like it was shouting for people to stop the car. People started staring. Sellers stopped mid-sale. Boda guys narrowed their eyes. The dog started barking at the back door right where the package was. Zena whispered, guys, why does this dog look like it knows something? Before they could answer, a man selling bananas shouted, manze kuna kitu kwa hii gari. Hiyo dogi mbona inawafuata ikibweka hivyo? Within minutes, a woman had already called the nearest police station. Cece began sweating through her makeup. Zena whispered to Ras J, drive. Now. Just as they were trying to escape the tight traffic, they heard the roar, a sound everyone knows, a police Land Cruiser. The siren made even innocent people feel guilty. It swung around the corner like a movie scene. Pull over! An officer shouted. You see, Zena and Ras hadn't told Cece that they were carrying an extra package that day. Cece panicked. Jay, what's in the back? Why is that dog following us? Jay refused to answer. The Land Cruiser got closer. The officers were now pointing for them to stop, but the traffic was tight. Vehicles were moving too slow. People were crossing. PSV matatus had formed additional lanes on the sides of the road, blocking everyone. Keep driving, Zena shouted, and that is how the chase began. The dog was still behind them, by the way, still barking, like it had been hired for sound effects. The police siren was even louder. People jumped out of the way. Matatus cleared the space. And finally, the police dropped a spike. With nowhere to run, the police forced them to stop. Jay tried to jump out. He was tackled so fast he didn't even touch the ground. Cece froze in her seat. Zena cried. The officer surveyed the car and saw the package. Inside, firearms and explosives. Jay was finished. Cece also finished. Zena finished by association. One officer looked at Cece's designer clothes, expensive makeup and shook his head. We, kumbe nyinyi ndo mnabeba hizi vitu siku hizi. The Land Cruiser took them straight to the cell block. Cece, the queen of the office, the woman who had to have the better dress, the better man, the better bank account, was now in a dusty cell with no makeup, no mirror, no designer bags, and certainly no better dress than anyone. If Cece had been humbled before, this one broke her ego to the dust. The cells invited her with a smell she never forgot. Her fancy wig slipped to the side, her nails broke, her makeup melted like ice cream in the sun. Inside the cell, a woman said, "Leo tuko na Slayqueen. Nini mekuleta madam?" Cece wanted the earth to open and swallow her whole. Her phone was taken, she couldn't call Kevin, Jay had been taken to the men's section, and Zena couldn't stop crying. They all stayed there awaiting their case. Her friends Mel and Nadia eventually visited her. They stood on the other side of the bars. Cece looked at her friends, truly seeing them without the filter of her endless need to compare and conquer. "I tried so hard to be better than everyone," Cece whispered, the humility finally settling in, but I ended up being the worst. And when they were finally released on bail, Cece's entire life changed. Kelvin ghosted her, the affair ended, the office gossip exploded. Her boss didn't even shout, she just gave her a long pitiful look. And for the first time in her life, Cece stopped comparing herself, stopped bragging, stopped chasing validity, and slowly rebuilt her life. She resigned from the agency because she couldn't stand the shame, and fortunately, she got a job in Westlands, her new beginning. And that, my friends, is the tale of Cece. She wanted to wear the crown, but ended up in an overcrowded and dusty cell. You see, in life, there's no need to constantly compete with others, because when you try too hard to outshine everyone, you often end up outrunning yourself. And sometimes, all it takes is a suspicious market dog, unageuka backbencher ndani ya cruiser, juu ya kuchase cash na shortcut, road ikawa na jam, ukatumia wrong turn, backfire. So, what's the most competitive thing a friend has ever done to you? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.